Hello everyone, my name is Srinivas Shalge and in this video lecture I am going to discuss about siphon. So before going to study the siphon, first we will try to understand some basic things which are required to understand siphon. So consider a pipe and it has two sections, that is section A and section B. So as we can see in the pipe that section A is at higher level than the section B. So that means what? The potential energy at A is greater than the potential energy at B. If you want to decide the direction of flow, so from this sentence or from this potential energy level, we can decide the direction of flow, and the direction of flow will be, that is what, the fluid flows from the higher potential energy level to lower potential energy. So that means what? E to P. But suppose at the same time in the same pipe, let the pressure energy at B is greater than pressure energy at A. So here the pressure energy is more than the pressure energy at A. So in that case, if I consider this a sole condition or this a second condition, so in that case the fluid will flow from B to A. So that means what? It will flow from section B to A. But if I consider the first condition, it is A to B, and according to the second condition, it is B to A. If I consider both the conditions simultaneously, so it create a confusion whether that flow will flow from A to B or B to A. So the answer of this question is that always fluid flows from that section which has higher total energy level than the to the section which has the lower total energy level. So here first we have to find out, or to decide the direction of a flow, we need to find out total energy at A, that is what? Addition of pressure energy, kinetic energy and potential energy, and the total energy at B. And if suppose the total energy at B is greater than total energy at A, so in that case fluid will flow from B to A. And if suppose the total energy level at A is greater than the total energy level at B, in that case the fluid flows from A to B. So that means what? The fluid always flows from higher total energy level to lower total energy level. Again, from this we can say that fluid can flow from lower pressure energy level to higher pressure energy. But the condition is that the total energy at this lower pressure energy should be greater than the total energy at the higher pressure energy level. So in that case, it is possible that the fluid will flow from lower pressure energy level to higher pressure energy level. Again, the same thing, that is what? Fluid can flow from lower potential energy level to higher potential energy level. Again the same condition, that is what? If suppose at a lower potential energy section, total energy is more than the total energy at higher potential energy level. So in that case also the fluid can flow from lower potential energy level to higher potential. So this is what actually, this is very basic thing, and this is very simple actually, but it will require to it will very important concept before understanding the siphon. So next we will go for the siphon. So siphon is a long bent pipe. So it is a pipe which is used to carry water from a reservoir at a higher elevation to another reservoir at lower elevation when these two reservoirs are separated by hill or high level ground. So siphon is the simple pipe and which is used to carry water from higher level reservoir to lower level reservoir when the two reservoirs are separated by hill. So here we can see the siphon. So this is the higher level reservoir. This B is the lower level reservoir, and these two reservoirs are separated by hill or high level ground, and this is the bent pipe you can see here. So this is the bent pipe which is used to carry water from this reservoir A at higher level to the reservoir B, which is at lower level than A. So this bent pipe is known as what? Siphon. So in last slide we have seen that, so in this case, or in siphon, we can see that the fluid start to flow from this A and it will flow to C and C to E. So here we can see that the fluid will flow from A to C. So that means what? It is flowing from lower potential energy to higher potential energy. So here remember that in last slide we have already seen that the fluid can flow from lower potential energy to higher potential energy without any external work or without using pump if the total energy at this section is greater than the total energy at C. In that case, the fluid can flow from A to C. So that is very important actually. So next, so this is the rising portion, or we can see here. So this total siphon or this pipe is divided in two parts. That is, this is the rising portion, and that is A to C, and C to E. This is the falling portion. So this rising portion is known as inlet leg, and this falling portion is known as outlet leg. Again, so this blue line is a total energy line. So first we will try to understand what is total energy line. So total energy line shows the total energy, that is what? The addition of pressure head or pressure energy, velocity head or the kinetic energy, plus potential head or potential energy. So addition of all these heads or energies shows this total energy line. Again, hydraulic grade line. So another line is there, that is HGL, that is hydraulic grade line. So hydraulic grade line is the addition of pressure energy or pressure head and potential head. Here it is the addition of all three energies, and it is the hydraulic grade line is the addition of only two heads or two energies, that is pressure head or pressure energy and potential head or energy. So here we can see that, so this line shows that the total energy line. If suppose I want to draw here the hydraulic grade line, so obviously here we can see that by in a TEL and HGL, this HGL is less than TEL by V square upon 2G, because it is the addition of only potential head and the pressure head. So that line should be below the total energy line. So hydraulic grade line is always below the total energy line. So this green line shows the hydraulic grade line. So this is what HGL, total energy line, and hydraulic grade line. So if I want to find out the difference between these two lines, if I take the difference between TEL and HGL, so that difference is constant, and that difference is how much? That is V square upon 2G. So here we can see the difference between that two line is V square upon 2G. So this is the difference between these two lines. Again, this B and D, these are 2 points. These are the point of intersection of this HGL and the center line of the pipe. So the point at which the center line of the pipe cuts the HGL, so that point is B and D. So we will afterward discuss about this B and D. So now to understand this TEL and to HGL again in more clearly, so consider one point at the entry of the siphon. So I have considered in this green color here, I have considered one point. Now I want to find out the total energy at this point. Remember that this is TEL, total energy line, is shows the total energy at each and every section of the pipe. Suppose this point I have considered, this is the point. When I draw a vertical line from this point of the pipe, so this point gives the total energy at this point. Suppose another point is here. So again, if I draw the vertical line here, so this point gives the total energy at this point. So that means what? This TEL gives total energy at each and every section of the pipe. Suppose this is the point I have considered at the entrance of this siphon. Now I want to find out total energy at this point. So here we can see that this is the Z. Suppose this is the ground level, and this is the point, and this is Z distance. That means what? This is the potential head from the ground at this point. Again, from this point to this green line, that is hydraulic grade line. So P upon rho g is the pressure energy available. And by default already we have seen that the distance between these two lines is V square upon 2g. So this is Z potential head plus pressure energy plus kinetic energy or kinetic head. So addition of these three is nothing but what? Total energy available at this point. Again, we will try to find out the total energy at another point. So consider this point. So at this point again, so from the ground, so this distance shows what? The potential head. Again, from this point to this hydraulic grade line, so this shows the pressure head, and obviously by default the distance between these two lines is nothing but the kinetic head. So this is the Z, and this is the potential energy, this is the pressure energy, and this is the kinetic energy. Here we can see that the velocity or the kinetic head at this point at the entrance and at the second point are same, because this velocity head or the kinetic head is the difference between TEL and HEL, and the difference between the TEL and HGL remains constant. So velocity head or the kinetic head is constant. When I compare these 2 points, first point and second point, so here potential head at the first point is less than the potential head at the second point. So at this point potential head is more than this point. So whatever the potential head increases at the second point, so that much amount of decrease in pressure energy. So here you can see that here at the second point the pressure head is less, because we know that V square by 2g is the constant at each and every point in this siphon. One thing again I want to discuss here, this velocity remains constant because the pipe diameter is constant. So the velocity at each and every section of this siphon is the same. So only there are changes in potential head and pressure head. So here from this we can conclude that the distance between the center line of the pipe and the hydraulic grade line is the pressure head. So here at this point we can see here from the center line of the pipe and up to the hydraulic grade line, so P by rho g is the pressure head. Again, if I take this point, so in this point also from the center line of the pipe to the hydraulic grade line, P by rho g is the distance, that is pressure head. So we can see here the vertical distance between HGL, this is the HGL, and the pipe center line represents pressure head P by rho g at any section. So this is very important. Again, one more thing I want to discuss here. So at this point, this is the pressure head, and at this point, this is the pressure head. So this length, so this is one scale actually, and this length shows this P by rho g or head. So according to the length of these two lines, we can say that at this point, at the entrance point, the pressure energy or the pressure head is more than this second point. So if we consider the pressure at this point, so the pressure at this point is greater than atmospheric pressure, because if I consider at the entrance, if I consider the entry point, so this is the fluid above this point, and due to this height, some pressure acting on this point, that is P equals to rho gh. And again, out the free surface, atmospheric pressure is acting. So this atmospheric pressure plus the pressure due to this head or due to this height is acting on this point, and therefore this at this point, at the entry point, pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure. And we have already seen that the pressure at this first point or the entry point is greater than the pressure at this second point. So that means what? Here the pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure, and as the fluid moves in the siphon in the rising portion or in the upward direction, the pressure starts to decreases. So at this point, the less the pressure decreases. Again, it moves to this point. Suppose so. Again, the pressure decreases, and the pressure start to decreases from A to B. So second thing is what? The pressure from A to B is greater than the atmospheric pressure. So what happens actually, if we want to find out the total energy at B, so this is the potential head or the Z from this green line or this point B to the ground level. So this is the potential head, and already we have discussed that the distance between HGL and the pipe center line is P by rho G. So here the pipe center line and the HGL line coincide with each other at point B. So that means what? Here the pressure energy or the pressure head is 0, means what? The pressure at point B is 0 gauge pressure. So 0 gauge pressure means what? Here at this point atmospheric pressure is there. So at the entrance of the pipe the pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure, and at B and at D the line or the HGL where the where it cuts the center line of the pipe, so at that point the pressure is atmospheric pressure. So at B atmospheric pressure is there, and at the entry point the pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure. So therefore the pressure from A to B is greater than atmospheric pressure. And when fluid starts to move from B to C, so again it starts to decreases, and the pressure at B and obviously the pressure, already we have seen that the pressure at B and D is atmospheric pressure, and the pressure from B to C is less than atmospheric pressure. So from this point the pressure starts to decreases. So at A the pressure is more than atmospheric pressure, at B the pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure, and from B the pressure starts to decreases, and the from B to C the pressure is less than atmospheric pressure, and we will get the water pressure at C is, that is the least pressure. So the point at which we get the least pressure, so that highest point is known as summit. So this is the summit, and again from C to D the pressure again starts to increases, again it reaches to atmospheric pressure, and again it starts to increases, and here again the pressure is what? Greater than atmospheric pressure. So since at this point the total energy is greater than the total energy at C, so therefore fluid flows from A to C, and by default again the fluid will due to the higher potential energy the fluid again flows from C to E. So that is how the fluid will flow from A to C and C to E. So one more thing, so here we will get the least pressure, that is at C, and if suppose that pressure is less than 2.5 meter of water absolute, so in that case here at this point the cavitation or the airlock will occur, and to avoid the cavitation and the airlock, so we have to maintain at this point we have to maintain pressure greater than 2.5 meter of water. So understand 2.5 meter of water, so I have written here atmospheric pressure is how much? 10.3 meter of water. So this is about the construction and the working and the construction of this siphon. So next we will try to find out total energy loss or the head loss when fluid flows from this A to E, that is from entry to the exit of this siphon. So total energy loss we want to find out here. So to find out that, we need to apply the modified Bernoulli's equation between the surface A and surface B. So this is the Bernoulli's equation. So that is this is the total energy available at section A. Again, this is the total energy available at section B plus the head loss between these two surfaces, or in between these two sections. So at surface A and B, so we know that at surface A and B, pressure A, that is PA, and PB equals to P atmosphere. Since the fluid is in the reservoir and it is open to atmosphere, so both reservoirs are open to atmosphere. So therefore at A and B the pressure is atmospheric pressure. So therefore this PA by rho g and PB by rho g get cancelled. Again VA equals to VB. So this is the reservoir. So therefore obviously the velocity at A surface is 0, and again the velocity at surface B is again 0. This is the static fluid, or the when fluid is in the container, the fluid is static fluid. So the velocity at A and velocity at B, that is equals to 0. And again this VA square by 2g, VB square by 2g get cancelled. And finally we will get one equation, that is HL equals to, that is the total head loss equals to this ZA. So ZA means what? This surface water surface level of reservoir A from the ground, and ZB means what? The free surface, the distance of free surface from the ground layer. So ZA minus ZB, and that is equals to what? H. So HL is equals to H. So that is the head loss between these two sections, that is at the entry and at the exit. So now we can, by using the major losses and minor losses, we can find out these head loss or the energy losses. So HL equals to H equals to, so H is the difference between the two reservoirs, so that is the head loss at the entry, plus HF, head loss due to the friction when fluid flows in this siphon, plus head loss at the exits. So this is the total head loss. So already we have discussed about the head loss at the entry, that is 0.5 V square upon 2g plus HF. So according to the Darcy-Weisbach equation, so a head loss due to the friction is FL V square upon 2gd, plus at the exit we have seen in minor losses, head loss at the exit is V square upon 2g. So when we solve it, or when we find out the final equation, so that final equation will be H equals to 1.5. so just we have to add these two, so we will get 1.5 plus FL upon D, and here common we will get V square upon 2g. So this is the total head loss when fluid flowing from this entry to the exit of the siphon, and that is always equals to the difference between the two reservoirs level. So this is about the total head loss in the siphon. So again one more thing that is very important, and we need to find out that one. So that is what here we want to find out how much is the pressure at point C, because that pressure should not be less than 2.5 meter of water absolute, otherwise the cavitation will occur at C. So here we will try to find out the pressure at point C. So again in this case also we have to apply the Bernoulli's equation. So to apply the Bernoulli's equation, so again ZA is the pressure, potential head at A. Again ZB is the potential head at B. H is the distance between, or the difference between the two reservoir levels. So at the entry point is A, exit point is E, C is the summit, and ZC is the distance, or it is the potential head of a point C, that is the distance between point C, that is summit, and the ground level. This is the inlet leg, outlet leg, this is point B. HC is the distance from this reservoir free surface of reservoir A to the summit C, so that is HC. So now we'll apply this Bernoulli's equation between the free surface of reservoir A and this summit C. So this is the total energy available at A. Again, this is the total energy available at summit C, and HL is the head loss. So again, we know that the pressure at the free surface of the reservoir A is atmospheric pressure. If I measure that with reference to atmospheric pressure, if I measure the gauge pressure, so that pressure becomes 0. So therefore, this PA upon rho G equals to 0. So remember that we have considered here gauge pressure. So obviously atmospheric pressure, when we take in the gauge pressure, so it is always 0. So again, Va square by 2g equals to 0, since the velocity at this free surface A is 0, so therefore this one also get cancelled. Again, this Va, or the velocity actually here Vc equals to V, that is the velocity in the pipe. So now this equation becomes, so just actually this is Vc, so instead of Va, this is Vc. So this Vc is nothing but what, actually velocity remains constant. So velocity at this entry point A, C, and at the exit point E are same, and we have considered it as V. So Za equals to Pc upon rho g plus V square upon 2g plus Zc plus HL. So next, so HL, so we'll try to find out this HL from A to C, because we have applied the Bernoulli's equation in between these two sections, that is from A to C. So we have to consider the losses up to C only. So up to C, the losses are at the entry and due to the friction up to C. So when fluid flows from the entry to the point C, so there is friction between the pipe, the siphon wall, and the fluid particles. So total head loss is what? Head loss at the entry and head loss due to the friction up to point C. So therefore HL equals to 0.5 V square upon 2G, that is the head loss at the entry. Again, HF is the FL1 V square upon 2GD. So L1 is the length of inlet leg. So we have considered the friction between the fluid particles and the pipe wall up to the C only. So that means what? We have considered friction up, for inlet leg only. So L1 is the inlet leg, length of the inlet leg. So this is the HL. So now this equation becomes ZA equals to PC upon rho G plus V square upon 2G plus ZC, plus we have to add this HL. So we add this HL, that is head loss at the entry and head loss due to friction. So ZA equals to PC upon rho G plus ZC, plus we have to add these two velocity heads, so it is 1.5 V square upon 2G plus HF, that is FL1 V square upon 2GD. So PC upon rho G. So ultimately what we want to find out, we want to find out pressure at C or pressure head at C. So so this equation we need to write down in terms of PC upon rho G. So PC upon rho G equals to ZA minus ZC minus 1.5 V square upon 2G minus FL1 V square upon 2GD. So this is the pressure head at point C. So here we can see that PC by rho G equals to minus HSC. So ZA minus ZC. So ZA minus this ZC. So ZC is greater than ZA. Therefore, this HC is minus. So minus HC minus. So we have taken in this bracket. So 1.5 V square upon 2G plus FL 1 V square upon 2GD. So finally, we'll get this equation. So this equation is PC upon rho G equals to minus HC plus V square upon 2G into 1.5 plus FL1 upon D. So this equation gives the pressure here at summit C, and this pressure at point C should greater than 2.5 meter of water. So this is about the siphon, that is construction and working of siphon, total head loss in the siphon, and the pressure head available at point C, that is summit. So thank you.